everybody. Welcome to a new episode of the No End Show. Mac, your host. My guest is Laz, formerly of the band Leaders, now powerlifter, guy. How you doing, Laz?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Um, oh man. How's Chicago?
It's cold. We have a snowstorm coming tonight. It's supposed to be 10 to 14 inches of snow by tomorrow night.
Oh
So,
shit, man.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. It doesn't look too crazy outside right now, but it's supposed to super snow tonight, I guess overnight. So, they
That's
closed
rough.
down schools and my wife's job, they canceled all their appointments tomorrow and everything.
Damn.
Supposed to be a
That's
big storm. I
crazy.
mean, it doesn't seem like it.
I mean, at least free day off, I guess.
Yeah, I still work tomorrow, so still have to brave the freaking storm. But
Dude, that sucks.
they closed down the planetarium and a bunch of other different stuff, so it's kind of going to be a little hectic tomorrow. So
Shit. Well, hopefully it's not too bad a storm, at least.
yeah, I mean, it seriously doesn't look like it at all outside. So I mean, nice as in there's snow, but it's not stormy or anything. So
Okay. All right. That's cool. Um, so do you feel like starting with music or with the powerlifting?
we could do music since that's what was the first thing, I guess.
Okay. Sounds good. So I mean, real basic, but how did you get your start in music? Like what as a kid drew you to that?
I played for my parents' church actually when I was a kid. I played drums.
Oh, nice.
And then I played trumpet after that from seventh grade all the way until senior year, and that's how I learned how to read and write music. And
Okay.
I think my junior year of high school I started playing bass, and then all the way until 2007 I think I started playing guitar.
Okay.
I kind of played all those different instruments, I guess,
Damn.
throughout the time. And yeah, so that's why I started when I was a kid with my parents' church, and then it progressed, and I played concert band, jazz band on trumpet, and then when I found metal and hardcore, that's when I really fell in love with
Yeah.
music. Was so
Okay. Um, so I don't actually know a ton about Leaders or how it started, but was Leaders the first band that you were in, or was it a progression?
so it was a progression of an older band that was in,
Okay.
but it was this third band that I had been in
Okay.
from when I started playing. I started playing in bands 2003. I played in one band, which was a rap rock, really not embarrassing, but it was that's where I was when I was in life.
Yeah.
Friend of mine who rapped, and we did two songs with them, and it was cool. We played. I mean, we just played churches and stuff. It was really weird, but uh, and so it was cool. We did that, and then I played in a second band on drums, just kind of a little pop punk thing for 3 months, and then I joined another band on bass, and then started playing guitar in a band called All or Nothing, and then
Okay.
from All or Nothing we transitioned into Leaders from 2007 to 2011. We were the beginning of 2011. We were All or Nothing, and then when we got signed, we changed our name. And before we got signed, well, during the process of getting signed, we changed the name so that way, when we announced that we were signed, we'd have the new name. So
Okay. Okay.
that's kind of how that whole thing went down.
Yeah. Um. So when you were younger, was the goal just to play music forever, stay signed, just be that touring band for the rest of your life, or was it this is gonna be fun for a while, but this isn't what I want to do forever?
When I was younger, I wanted it to be forever.
Okay.
I definitely wanted it to be something that I did for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
but I mean, not to say that it's not possible because there's people who do it, but I think the way that I viewed it changed as I got older, and I mean, it's a really tough industry to be in. If your band's not really like staying afloat, it's really hard to like be. It's really like the right place, the right time with the right music and whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have it, then sometimes it just doesn't work. But um, yeah, when I was younger, it was like I wanted to do this forever. Like I wanted to be like AC/DC, 60 years old, still playing music, and like and not necessarily music now, but like back then I wanted it to be like that was my career, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. So
Yeah.
when you were that age, well, actually, okay. What age were you when leaders like started taking off? I guess is the right way to say that.
Yeah, I just got more traction. We did more touring, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah.
Um, was that 2011? I think I was 23 or 24
Okay.
when we got signed. Like we got All or Nothing was signed to an indie label, and then Face on Records is still indie too. But we got signed when I was like 23 or 24, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at that time, what kind of like during that period of your life, what kind of role did music play?
It was my life. Like at that point, like I literally did everything for the
Yeah.
band. Like it was like my life. My life revolved around like the band basically and
Okay.
music.
Um, what kind of role does it play in your life now? Because I've seen on Instagram and stuff, you still post like you're working on like little riffs or songs and.
Yeah, it's it's tough, man. Like it's tough to find time to like sit down for an hour and like play.
Yeah.
And it's like it's so hard to find uh like like motivation to write sometimes because when we were in the band, it was like we had so much like we had a deadline for an album or we just wanted to write. You know, we were in writing mode, so we would have 6 months to write an album, and like it kind of gives you a lot of pressure to do it.
Yeah.
And there's not so much that now because I'm not like doing anything. So um, I still play at home once in a while. Like I have like a studio. I have my studio monitors, and I have my guitar and bass, and whatever, drums, electric drums, and all kinds of stuff. But I play on worship at church actually still
Oh,
right
cool.
now.
Cool.
So I'll play bass or guitar or drums. They need me to play drums, so I
Yeah.
kind of it's all over the place. But I do that still, and then I just started doing front of house stuff for the church too, like helping out. So, which is like mixing and like
Yeah.
basically a sound guy. So
Okay. Nice. Nice, man.
yeah,
So the next questions are just kind of they're just like fun questions, I guess. Hopefully.
yeah.
But like, what were some of your first tours like? Not even in Leaders, but like, did you tour? Did you tour at all before,
Mm-hmm.
like Leaders? Like, what were some of those like?
My first tour was in 2006. I filled in. I filled in for. Oh my god, it was nuts. I had just graduated high school, and I filled in for some friends that played in our area. The vocalist was a booking. He booked like kind of like what Joel does for pinup. Like he booked all the
Okay.
band talent, like a talent buyer, and he was doing that in Sacramento at this place called the Boardwalk. And we knew him. We've known him, and my band knew him, and the drummer that had just joined that band was a friend of ours. And so they're like, "Yeah, we don't have a bass player for the
Uh-oh. I don't know what this means.
tour or Tuesday." Oh, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, my phone. I don't know. My service is. I'm in the office, like in front of our house, and the router's in the back. So,
It's all good, man.
so yeah, I found out Friday, and then like I went home and told my parents I'm gonna go on tour. Like with who? And I was like, just some friends of ours. And so they got all their numbers, and I literally had this green army bag and threw all my clothes in it. And then I went back to where those guys lived and practiced once with them on a Monday, and then we left Tuesday to Oregon to start the tour for 6 weeks. So I just went for it, and I'm glad I did because I mean I learned a lot that tour about like talking with people on tour and like really being outgoing.
Yeah.
And that one was cool, but I was still real fresh. I didn't know much, so I kind of was just like super noob. And then when we did our first All or Nothing like real tour was in 2009, and that one was really fun because it was like we just literally played music and drove across the country. Like every night was just. Like being crazy, so they were fun. The first experiences I had touring were like the best times ever. Like they were fun, very carefree.
Yeah.
All I worried about was getting from one show to the next, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any like favorite tours that you can remember?
Whew. There's a lot of different ones, I guess. I think the second tour we did as All or Nothing was with a band called In the Midst of Lions, and it was like their first tour, and that was like the homie tour. Like there was like 4 bands, and we just literally it's like a month long, so many canceled shows and like crazy times, dude. But we had so much fun, man. Like that was a really fun tour where we like learned that we could be super homies and friends with other bands from other states and.
Yeah.
Kind of form like a bond. So I think that was one of the favorites. And then in leaders, man, I don't know. There's a lot of them. I think the first like Thickest Blood tour was fun with like King Conquer and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was fun. It was crazy. It was a crazy tour actually, but it was fun to be able to. I became good friends with Gino, the vocalist of Thickest Blood, and Randy, and so I still talk to Gino once in a great while, but like that was a fun tour. Like I don't know, I filled in on guitar for them, so I got to play guitar for them. Like we opened the show and then I play guitar for them and close the show, so
Yeah.
that was fun to double duties. But it was probably one of those two for sure were like the best ones, I think.
Okay. So I mean, I know you from the Bay Area shows, so
Yeah.
I can't skip over. Like, do you have a favorite like Bay Area show memory?
Everything at the Refuge, man. Those shows were like. I remember when me and Alfie would go to a lot of shows when we're transitioning from like All or Nothing into like leaders. We were writing music and we went to every show that we didn't play to hang out with everybody. And I got to know a lot of people because of Alfie. And then when we actually put music out, it was like people were like, "Whoa, this is pretty good," and we were like, "Oh shoot, it is." It was like it was cool. We did like Battle of the Bands, and it was like, and then if I remember the first like show we did was Battle of the Bands, and then we did like the second, Battle of the Bands. All the bands that didn't win did win like $1,000, and I think the City at Arms won, which was cool. But it was like I remember just those shows. Every show we played at the Refuge was like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Refuge. I know the Red House was fun. I think we played there with Lionheart too. On their I don't know if it was their farewell show. It was some show. They did their like DVD recording or whatever they were doing. That and like so those shows were always fun. But yeah, definitely anything at the Refuge was like I think like super fun to go to or to play. I always loved playing. Yeah.
Do you have like a proudest moment from your time being in a band?
Yeah. So we played when All or Nothing was a band, we played. There's two moments, but the first one was we played the UNLV, the Thomas Mack Arena in
Okay.
Las Vegas, and we played with Head from Corn, Blindside, and Flyleaf.
Wow.
It was a free show, and there was like 17,000 people there. So yeah, so it was intense and crazy. But that one, and then the second one is we played with POD in LA at the Fairplex. Yeah, the Pomona Fairplex in Pomona, the fairgrounds, where they have Warped Tour and stuff.
Oh, nice.
They had another concert there that we played with. It was with the Whosoevers, and we played with Living Sacrifice. Head from Korn, his band. He had the Chariot and POD.
Shit. That's
Yeah,
awesome,
and
man.
and so like yeah, those are like two of the biggest like craziest shows I've ever played. That were intense and crazy. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have like music goals for the future, or any ideas for stuff you want to do?
Um, I do want to. I mean, I don't want to tour anymore. I don't even know if I want to be in a band again, to be honest with you. But it was a lot of work. But
Yeah.
I definitely want to like still write music on my own. It's just hard sometimes because like I said, there's no motivation to like. There's no pressure for like I have to put an album out or an EP. Like
Yeah.
so, I would like to just release some stuff that's like softer and for fun and put it out there. Maybe even do some hardcore stuff. But it's just I don't know. Things haven't really lined up where I'm like someone I know will play, with me or we'll start a band here because
Yeah.
my friends here don't really listen to metal and hardcore stuff. I'm like the guy that does, and so um, I have some friends that do, but they live far away too. So it's like farther in like on this in the suburbs and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but no like real future plans for it. I mean, just kind of like playing music, like I don't know, just for fun.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
My music stuff stopped like 3 years ago, and I
Yeah.
regret not like sticking with any kind of instrument or any something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is what it is. Um,
Yeah.
but okay, so that was actually all I had for music stuff.
Oh, that's totally
Um,
fine. Yeah.
yeah. Um, but as like a transition, what is your favorite like training like music to just like work out to?
Um, Terror for sure.
Okay.
The new Knox Loose album, which I never really heard them at all until that album, and it was like it blew my mind. Some people hate it, but I think it's great. I'll listen to it in the gym. The new Emir record that came out, and then um, the new After the Burial. My wife loves After the Burial, so
Okay.
she like jams it at the gym when we're there sometimes. So it's really cool.
It's awesome. It's awesome, man. Do you have like a song or a band when you're like trying to hit a PR that you listen to?
So I used to when I first started lifting, when I moved here, like first like seriously lifting, I would do that a lot, and it was always like Tear or something like that. But
Okay.
um, at our gym at Rock, where I would train at a gym called Rockwell Barbell, and it's just like metal and hardcore, like as loud as it can be through the PA, which is I'm not complaining. It's freaking awesome because
Yeah.
and there's all sometimes Lawrence the owner will play like house music and different crazy like super trance house music and but it's cool. But no, I don't really have a song that I do that to anymore. Like I
Okay.
kind of learned to just I don't even train with headphones anymore. Like I just whatever's on, whatever's playing, whatever's around me, like it helps me to focus better that way.
Yeah.
When I did the meets, like I can't have headphones in for the meets that I did, so like I learned how to kind of just center my like focus without having to have headphones in. So
That makes sense. Makes sense. Um, so what got you into lifting slash powerlifting or just like working out in general?
my wife my wife worked out before I did when we were dating still, and I was running at the time a lot. And my buddy back home, who's the drummer for All or Nothing, he started powerlifting, and he told me about it, and he's like, "You're already kind of a bigger dude. Like you're built, you have your build is like all you gotta do is work out, and you'll be a monster and whatever." So I was like, "Yeah, dude, okay, I'll try it," and it freaking sucked, man. I hurt my back. Like deadlifting when I started, and just a bunch of crazy stuff. But it was my wife who was like, "You should lift," and my buddy back home. And when I started doing that, it was like, "Oh, I think I like this." And then when I moved here, I got a trainer at the gym that I'm at now, and she kicked my butt, dude. But like in like 6 months, my like maxes went to the roof, dude. Like
Shit.
I got so strong, and within 9 months, like I went from my deadlifts was like 405, and then it went to 500 in 9 months, and then my squat went from 315 to 450, 425 in 9 months, and then my bench went from 225 to 265, which wasn't much. I hate bench, but it's the worst. But like she's a great trainer, and like she trains me and my wife now. So,
Nice.
but yeah, I really got more seriously into it when I moved here and was paying to have a trainer and stuff. Like it just kind of pushed me a lot more. So,
Just for anyone that's curious, wait, sorry, wrong.
no,
Wrong
you're fine.
question. My bad. So since you've started, you've done a couple meets.
Mhm.
What is for anyone that doesn't know, like, how did you do in those meets?
So my first meet was the first one I did was really crazy. I did. So I did. You get. I don't know whoever is. I don't know who listens or whatever, but
I don't
you
know
get three.
either.
You get, you get 3 attempts for each lift, and so for squat I did 450. For bench I did 275, and then for what's the last one? Deadlift I did 485. I got really nervous and like kind of in my head, and I missed one of my lifts, so I couldn't do a third one. So I redid 485, and then that was in July, and in December I did another meet, and so for squat it was 474, bench was 286, and my deadlift was 534, which they called no lift on it because they said it kind of pitched it a little bit at the top, which is like where you kind of cheat your way up. I don't think I did that, but whatever, it's not a big deal. But I got it up, so 534. 512 is my meet PR, but 534 is what I got up. So yeah,
That's crazy, man. Good for you.
yeah. Thanks, dude.
I don't know if you remember, I worked a weekend out at the warehouse that Greg.
Yeah,
I don't know
I'll
that
see
Greg.
you design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one of like the 2 days that I worked, they wanted us to move the giant stone bench. You
Oh,
remember
dude, that thing, yeah.
And I remember it ended up breaking a flight of wooden stairs. Like,
Dude,
on the way
when that
down.
the old guy next door was like, "Just push it down the stairs, it'll slide." And I was like, "No," and he's like, "Just let it go." And I let it go, and it just smashed the stairs. It didn't slide. That was horrible, dude. That was the worst.
Oh my god. Well, what I remember is, we both ended up in the back with the guy in charge. I don't remember any of the names.
John, yeah.
Okay, and he was trying to get us to lift it and like just move it out of the way of the stairs. And because I'm a big guy at the time, people assumed like, oh, he's strong, he can do whatever. And it's like, no, I'm not. I'll just sacrifice my body to do it. And I remember at a certain point you were able to move it just by yourself. And I was just like, I guess I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Good job, lads. So whenever you post videos now of just like lifting crazy weight, I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I saw that coming.
I saw him lift that stone. I saw him break that flight of stairs with the stone bench.
Oh man,
that was crazy. Yeah, that was nuts, dude. That job, I'm thankful for that job. I mean, I became like the warehouse manager or like the, manager there, and then I ended up moving out here, and like it helped me get my job out here. So I mean,
yeah.
It was good. So I'm thankful for them. But yeah, that was crazy. That day was nuts, man.
Yeah, no, that was my first job, so I'm thankful. But that was a strange place to work.
Yeah, it only gets stranger if you stay in. Like I do the same thing out here, so it's just as crazy.
Oh, okay, nice. But so how did you find the gym you're at now? Was it where your wife already went, or?
So when I moved here, she was still going to Planet Fitness.
Okay.
And some friends of mine that I met from, it all kind of relates to music. So there was a band that I was filling in for, Sleeping Giant.
Yeah.
They played a festival in Minnesota, and they asked me to play bass like a year or 2 years ago. So they flew me out, and we stayed with this couple named Kyle and Sarah, and they were freaking awesome. So like I became friends with them, and like they're super rad. And they were like, yeah, if you move to Chicago, Sarah was like, hey, my brother, he owns a gym out there, and so they're like, you should totally go to his gym, like if you move there and stuff. And so when I got here, the first thing I did, like the day after I got here, was like, hey, I'm gonna come by, and like her husband Kyle texted his brother-in-law Lawrence and told him like, hey, my friend, blah blah blah. And I showed up, and it was like super nervous, dude, because the gym is all like dudes with tattoos and beards and like just super like hardcore metal. Like the gym's very like, it's very cool, but it was just really like intimidating. And I met Lawrence there and told him like, yeah, I know your sister and your brother-in-law, and then that's kind of how I got connected with that gym. And so it's a great gym though. I've been there since I moved here, and I don't regret it. It's like a big family, so it's kind of cool.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have this is another favorite, but do you have like a favorite of the like three main lifts?
Deadlifts, for sure.
Okay.
Deadlift or squat. I hate bench, so I won't say bench, but squat, because I think I'm the strongest in that, and then deadlift. Well, I'm strongest in deadlifts, but squat and deadlift, like, I mean, it's 474 and like 534, so I mean they're pretty close.
Yeah.
So I want to squat 500 this year, and I want to deadlift 600, and then I want to bench. I do want to bench 315 by the end of the year. So.
Jeez, man, you're legit a monster. That's awesome.
It's crazy because there's dudes at my gym, dude, like, who deadlift 600 pounds already or 700 pounds. So it's like, oh, I'm just doing 534, no big deal. Like, nothing compared to like 585, you know.
That's still
but
crazy.
Still, yeah, because I remember when I started doing it in 2016, I was like, my buddy who got me into it was like deadlifting 405, and I was like, oh my god, I'll never be able to do that. I can do that no problem now. So it's
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite like accessory lift?
Do you know what reverse hypers are?
Yes.
Okay, so reverse hypers. When I first started doing them, I hated them. But after like deadlifts, my trainer would make me do them, and or it would be in the program to do them. And so at first I hated them, but like now I don't do them as much anymore. But I think that's one of my favorite. And what else? I don't hate accessories. I like them too, but I don't know if they're my favorite. I don't have any like favorite.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get excited when I like find that new thing that just like gets me stronger somehow. Like I did barbell glute bridges, and that's how I finally hit 300 for a deadlift.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. Hold on. I think. Well, I've been doing a lot of stuff for bench, so because I want my bench to go up, so I've been trying to do a lot of things that help bench stuff. I've been doing close grip. I did my last cycle I just did is like close grip, feet up bench. So I was doing like 20 to 25 reps.
Jesus.
With like 145 or 155 pounds on the bar, which isn't much, but like you'd have no like drive. So it was just like my feet were up and it's all like up here. It's all up here, and so there's a lot of weird accessories. I know I do them because they help, but it's always like I don't know if I have any favorites.
No, that's fair, man.
I'm drawing a blank, I guess, at the point. I don't really know. I'm sure there is, but tomorrow I'll be like there and like, oh crap, I like doing this. Said that.
No, I get it, man. I get it. Do you have any like goals to get more into like fitness? Like, have you ever considered like wanting to also be a coach or train people or anything?
No, I don't know if I'd be a good. I mean, I think I could do it, but I don't. It's not something where I'm like passionate about it. I don't want to just do it to make money or do it kind of like willy nilly. I want to be able to like. I don't know. I enjoy just training with my trainer and enjoy like working out, but I don't know if I could be a trainer.
Yeah. Okay.
I could do it, but I don't. Like I said, I'm not passionate about it, so it won't be like.
Yeah.
I care about someone's like well-being. I can barely get myself there. I'm trying to tell other people to get there.
No, I get it. Yeah. I tried it and it wasn't. It's not really for me. I realized. It's like I can't explain to you why you should enjoy this. Like if you don't already enjoy it, I don't know. You're not going to
sit on the couch and be lazy.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you ever are you ever curious about like doing a different style of fitness? Like would you ever want to do like Olympic weightlifting or like I don't know, something else?
Strongman.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's one that I'd like. I don't know necessarily if I would do it like switch over completely, but I do want to like try it because I think it's pretty awesome. Like I just all the different things that they do. Like I think it's really cool. So I want to like try it and see how I do with it because I think it'd be kind of cool. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I love watching the strongman competitions. Like it's great. They're insane. They're so cool.
And it's just such a different way of like lifting, where it's just kind of brute strength rather than like there's technique, but I mean it just seems so much more beastly. It's like strongman compared to powerlifting.
Yeah, they I saw videos of this like mock meet, I guess, out in Sacramento a couple weekends ago, and they brought out Brian Shaw, and like he was just like warming up with like the top weights that they were doing. Like top weight was like 700, and he's just like, all right, 700, easy.
Yeah, he's a monster, dude. Like Brian Shaw, Eddie Hall, and like those dudes. You're insane, dude.
Yeah, man.
That's
awesome. Not. Oh man, well you got to do it. That's fucking cool, man.
Yeah, I want to try it for sure because I think it's. I just think I'd be able to. I don't know. I just want to be able to say I didn't, and if it's something I like,
Yeah.
then maybe do it. But I mean, I do like powerlifting, so it's just. But I think it'd be great to kind of just have something else under my, not under my belt, but something else that will change it up for me a little bit physically, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I I get it. Strongman also just seems it's like a different kind of strength. It feels like it's just like you said. It's beastly, but it's also just like you're just strong at that point. Like
Yeah,
there's no caveat to it.
no
Like
doubt. There's no
yeah.
doubt that you're like, and my biggest my one like, I guess not dream but goal is like, I do want to deadlift a car.
Oh
Like, you know how
shit.
they do that, and they do
Yeah.
like, or pull like a truck with a thing or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I want to do that for sure to try it, or say I did it and
That's
then
awesome.
quit, forever. But that would be so cool. I want to do it just to say I did it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. I've always wanted to do the super yoke where it's just the giant like frame on your shoulders.
Yeah,
Just that one though. I don't think I could do like, the crazy pulls and shit. But like that yoke just seems like a lot of fun.
yeah.
Um, so another favorite, but like, do you have a favorite cheat meal?
Every day's cheat meals for me. I don't really eat that I gotta start eating healthy now because I mean I'm getting older, so like I went to the doctor and I definitely have to eat better. But pizza, deep dish.
Okay. Yeah.
There's this place called Gano's here that me and my wife always. I mean, it's good, dude. So, but pizza's like the biggest like cheat meal. Or I know it sounds bad, but McDonald's sometimes because it's across the street from my house. So. Just like when I lived in Hollister, across the street from my house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. But yeah, pizza. That's like the biggest.
Okay. Okay.
There are. But it's. I mean, I eat a lot. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't really have a strict diet. If I did,
That's
I'd
fair.
probably be more shredded. You know, have physique. But which isn't bad. I'm not bad mouthing that. But I just the discipline for that's so hard. I think I could barely like. I'm still learning how to like eat enough for what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
some days it's hard, man. Like I weigh right now. I weigh 267, 26, almost 270.
Yeah.
8 this morning, I think, when I checked, and I'm not like fat or anything, but it's just I have a power belly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Power belly, but I mean, it's not like huge, but it's like I have to eat enough to be able to lift. Otherwise, if I don't eat some days, man, or if I don't eat enough when I go into squat or deadlift or whatever, it just sucks. Like I can't do it.
Yeah. No, I feel that. Yeah.
So I always try to have like I've been trying to do protein shake with every meal that I have. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner,
Shit.
and then just having enough with everything. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Jeez.
But it's hard. Like I don't do it consistently because it's either with work. Sometimes I don't have a microwave to have my food, or I'll go out for a job and like I won't be at my food that's at work until later.
Yeah.
So just being consistent with my eating is a big thing that I'm trying to do so that I want to get bigger, like not like I just want to get bigger, like
Yeah. Yeah.
just
feel
be, which is like I'm sure it's crazy because there's some dudes at the gym that are like I eat like 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day or 4,000, but they're skinny. They're like their frame is just they're smaller dudes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eat that much to get bigger, but it's like if I eat that much, I guess I would get bigger too, but I just don't want to eat 5,000 calories a day.
Yeah. No, I feel it, man.
Yeah.
I told myself for the past 6 months, like, oh, I'll bulk, and then I'll go weeks where like I know I'm eating like maybe like a thousand, maybe like 2,000 calories if I'm lucky, and then like
Yeah.
days where I'm positive I just ate 4,000 calories in like donuts, and it's like it's only noon, so I don't know what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But it's rough, man. Just like trying to eat like an average amount in a day where you're like working or like doing other shit, it's not easy.
No,
Oh.
it's not. It's not at all. It's a challenge, man. It's a challenge,
Yeah.
like you said, working and other activities outside of like working and being home. It's like
Yeah.
hard sometimes to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to match my protein intake with like my body weight. So I weigh 265. So I'll try to do that in a day.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard because it's like I
I
have to
feel it, man.
literally I eat like 4 or 5 eggs in the morning, and then either like oatmeal or a bagel. If I have either or, I don't eat both of them, and then like some yogurt and then a protein shake and coffee.
Damn.
Yeah, and that's every morning. And then for lunch, it just depends on what I have or what we have. I usually eat leftovers, so we have a chicken or ground turkey or whatever, whatever we make for the night before.
Yeah.
But we bought all these containers to meal prep, but we haven't done it yet. We haven't done it yet. We just have time. So
Yeah, I feel that. I have a bunch. I have a cupboard full of containers that my parents got me for Christmas, and
yeah,
I just don't.
Yeah.
I'll do it, and then like I'll end up eating out every night for like 3 nights, and I'm like, fuck, man.
yeah, yeah. It's hard.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have any advice for like someone that is listening and like wants to start, going to the gym or start powerlifting?
Don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally joking. Please do it. Don't be lazy. Just make sure I mean, the biggest thing is making sure you learn technique before you start going heavier.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have technique when you're going heavy, it's gonna hurt you in the long run. That's what happened to me when I hurt my back, and when I moved here, my trainer, like, I was lifting. I thought it was okay, but like when she showed me the proper technique, all of my numbers jumped up, and like your technique just kind of keeps you safe first of all.
Yeah.
But then, like you could be deadlifting 155 pounds right now, and your max could actually be 225, but you just lift it like wrong,
Yeah.
or over time, and it's bad habits because if you do get to 225 and you're lifting the same way and rounding out your back or something, like you could really seriously injure yourself. But I mean, I'm not an expert in it, so I can't really say, but just technique for sure. Technique, and know that it's not always going to be. Every day isn't like 100%. Like, man, I'm so strong. I did all my sets of all my reps like at 495 pounds or 500 pounds, like 300 pounds. Like, I did the 370 today in sumo, and it was like hard, but it's easy numbers, but it's just like some days you just don't feel like going to the gym or doing anything, but you should still go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's consistency. So even if it's just to go do a few, 30 minutes of something, do it. Like, don't just not go.
Yeah.
So
That's fair. So this is a nerd like podcast. I normally talk to people about like comic books, or I talk to a friend about like comic books and like movies and stuff. So that was all I had for powerlifting.
okay.
But I wanted to ask, is there anything that you like nerd out on? Like, it doesn't have to be comic books. It doesn't have to be like, I don't know, conventional nerdy stuff. But like, is there something that you're just like super into that like, if someone asks you about it, you're genuinely excited to talk about it?
Crap, dude. I don't even know. I mean, always music. It's still always music. I think I nerd out about that, but I mean, I like gadgets and I like those kind of things and knowing what's new, but I'm not super like, I don't really nerd out that much. I think, to be honest with you, the biggest thing I nerd out about is like music, and right now I'm learning, like I said, front of house stuff.
Yeah.
And like how to mix and stuff like that. So I'm really nerding out on that, which is like just being it's just being a sound guy, but it's called front of house engineer. So it's like, yeah, I'm learning about like all kinds of crazy stuff for the console that we're using. So like I'm nerding out about that a lot right now.
Okay. That's
But
awesome.
it was video games and stuff, but I don't really. I play once in a while, but dude, like being married and working and like I commute still over here for work, so I lose an hour driving there and then an hour back. So it's like I still, you know, don't have enough time in the day to sit down and play video games for like 2 hours. I used to love to do, but I just don't have the. I don't do it anymore. My wife plays more than I do now. She's
Okay.
getting good at Call of Duty, so. But no, I don't. As far as nerding out, I don't.
Okay. Okay.
This sounds bad, I know, but
No,
I
it's all
wish I
good,
was
man.
nerdy.
When you were playing video games, what was one of your favorites, like the go-to?
Call of Duty, Black
Call of
Ops.
Duty.
Black Ops 2
Okay.
was my favorite. Black Ops 3 is what I have now. It's cool, but Black Ops 2 was like the best one I think they put out. Or it was the one I had the most memories with, like playing online late nights, like with friends and stuff, like till 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like that game the most. But it was fun, man, and like 3 is cool and stuff, but it's just not like playing 2, you know.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Mine was Modern Warfare 2, and none of them have come out since that I've just been like, yeah, that's exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's disappointing.
That and another one that I did like for a long time, or I still wish I had a 360 was Left 4 Dead.
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah.
Our band did that. Like we used to play it not online, but we used to play like just the levels all the time.
Yeah.
And we would go on tour and then come home and play that game nonstop. Like we would buy Little Caesars pizza, go to 7-Eleven, get Slurpees, and sit in the living room, play for hours, dude. And then a week or two later, leave again and go on tour, hang out with each other all the freaking time, come back home, do the same thing, dude.
That's
It was
awesome.
not. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. All right. It sounds like you can still like get a little nerdy about video games though. So that's something. That's something.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm sure I can get nerdy about a lot of things. I think in the heat, like in the moment, I'm like, oh, I don't really know, but yeah, I love. I mean, you're right. I think there's certain things that I don't know off the top of my head right now what it is.
No, it's all good, man. It's all good. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about real quick? Anything else you wanted to mention?
No, don't be lazy. Don't sit on the couch and be lazy. Go to the gym. And I don't mean that in a mean way. It's just it's crazy that a lot of people in America aren't just so out of shape now that it sucks because I see people that are like just out of shape and it's like, man, dude, if you just walked or did some stuff, you would feel a lot better. And I only say that because when I was like overweight and stuff, I wasn't happy with myself and with my life. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I get it. It was Mark Bell, I think. I listened to one of his podcasts, and all he did was talk about like, just take 10 minutes. Like, he was like, my mom's overweight, and like I tell her like, just take a 10-minute walk. Like it'll make you
yeah,
feel so much better. And
yeah,
yeah, like I had when I was heavier and like not going to the gym at all, my parents would tell me like, hey, you want to just go for a walk around the block real quick, or do you want to go
you're
do
like,
something?
leave me alone.
Yeah,
Leave me alone.
exactly. They'd be like, no, like, I don't know, fucking this movie's on, or I want
Yeah,
to play video games. Like, no, I don't have time. And now I'm just like, I wasted so much time not doing anything.
yeah. It's funny because when I was in high school, When I was in high school, dude, I hated any kind of sweating or physical activity,
Yeah.
like really bad. And so now that like um, after I graduated and like now I love being able to sweat and like be physical. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I feel it, man. Well, I mean, Laz, thank you so much for letting me take up some of your time. Let me do
yeah,
the interview.
awesome.
Is there anything like, do you want to plug your Instagram or anything?
Laz Leaders still hasn't changed, and my Twitter is the same thing. Whatever. I mean, I don't really use them as much. I mean, on my Instagram, just going to be lifting videos, so I'm pretty boring now.
Eh, they're pretty motivational lifting videos, honestly.
I'm not, the front man of Leaders anymore. So
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
When I think
totally.
Laz, I still think Laz leaders. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's why. I mean, someone's like, "You need to get over it, dude. It's over," and it's like, well, it is over. I'm not trying to hold on to anything. That's just my Instagram handle.
yeah, yeah,
What are you
exactly.
gonna do?
Well, thank you so much, Laz. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, thank you, man. I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, dude.